Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People's Show. Check the Post of Husker Nation. Brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. And I've been seeing this quote from the press conference on Monday from Husker quarterback Adrian Martinez. He said, and I quote, "With my generation, guys tend to not like to be yelled at, especially in group settings," end quote. Now, he was talking about how as a captain, how he tries to help other guys and lead other guys, but it got me thinking, what about as a coach? Coaching guys today and coaching guys of this generation is obviously different, and it evolves and changes over time. How can you make the biggest impact on your players as a coach? Now, the first thing I want to throw out there, first of all, thanks a lot participation trophies. All right. Number two, regardless of the generation that you're trying to coach as a coach and make an impact on with your players as a coach, okay, whether you're dealing with millennials, whether you're dealing with players from the 90s, whatever the case may be, from my experience as a player, okay, if you're a coach, here's the three biggest keys to having an impact on your players. Now, before I get into those three keys, the first thing you got to start with as a coach is who you're recruiting, the type of player, the type of individual that you're recruiting. Okay, you got to start there, and that starts with you as the coach. Now, once you've got them on campus, in-house, in your facility, a part of your program, okay, the first thing you need to be who you are as a coach. Okay, I've had coaches who were yellers all up in your face every day. I've had coaches that were teachers and so quiet you could barely hear what they said. I never really cared, okay? And I'm obviously not everybody. I'm my own person. I'm different. But my point is this. You have to be who you are because that's real. And that's what players are going to respect and what they're going to respond to first and foremost above anything. If you're fake, they're going to see it. They're going to see right through you, and they're not going to pay any attention to you. I'll never forget, I'm with the Redskins, okay? About my second to last season, and I sat next to London Fletcher in meetings, okay? All-Pro, Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ, played 16 years in the NFL, freaking stud. And I'll never forget, there was a particular week, okay, when we got to meetings, and we'd watch sometimes the film as a group, sometimes as position groups, sometimes as a whole defensive unit. This was a defensive unit day. And I take on this double team, okay? Two big dudes, two 330-pound linemen. I don't get moved. I don't make the play, but I don't get moved. In fact, London scrapes right over the top of me as a linebacker, makes the tackle. My D-line coach ripped into me like a monkey on a cupcake. I mean, my Lord, you would have thought I just got buried 6 feet under by that double team. And then London got buried because of me. I looked at London, and he just kind of shrugged his shoulders. And I was like, okay, whatever. Harsh coaching. Let's do it. Tough love. Let's light this candle, you know? The very next week, we come in. I take on a very similar double team against, two 330-pound guys, very similar. My job description back then. I got pushed back 3, 4, maybe 5 yards. Like, ladies and gentlemen, that is not good. Okay, that is bad. My D-line coach comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder, goes, "That's much better than last week," and walks away. That's all he said. London heard it and just went like this. He came up to me after the meeting. He goes, "You know what that was, Carriker?" He goes, "That was predetermined. They predetermined last week, no matter what you did, they were going to yell at you. And they predetermined this week, no matter what you did, it was going to be good because of last week." And right then and there, I realized he was right. And right then and there, I realized I could never trust my D-line coach again. You have to be who you are at all times. Be real. Number two, you have to have very clearly defined expectations and roles. Make it very clear what you expect from each position group and each player, okay, on an individual basis within that position group. Every group's role is going to be different, and every player's role will probably vary as well. Now, I struggled to come up with a good non-football example of this, so you know me. My mind immediately went to working out. So if I were to hire a personal trainer, and I was supposed to meet with that personal trainer for 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. I know that seems like a lot, but here's my example. And all of a sudden, he sends me this workout, and it's a 4-hour-a-day workout, and it's 7 days a week. I'd be like, what is this? Or if he sent me a 3-day-a-week workout, okay, instead of Monday through Saturday, it's now maybe 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday or something, and it's for 30 minutes, I'd be like, what is this? Okay, here's my point. If I'm a recruit from Florida, from California, okay, I was born in Hastings, and that's where most of my family lives, that in Aurora, Grand Island, and that's where I spent the early part of my life. But at a certain point, my dad got relocated upstate of Washington because of his job, and that's where I spent the majority of my childhood rooting for the Big Red with my dad, but up in the state of Washington. I know what it's like to come play for Nebraska from halfway across the country. Okay, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Now, I knew what my role was. I knew what the expectations for me were. There was another defensive end, in my recruiting class who was much higher recruited, and everyone talked about him, and I was the afterthought. Okay? And so for me, that's why I came in. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew I had to prove people wrong. I knew I had to earn my way. That's why I didn't come in with the chip on my shoulder. I came in with a whole forest on my shoulder. Okay? But I knew what the expectations were. It was very clear to me. Now, if you're a guy from Florida or California, and I'm not saying the coaches do or don't this, they should make it very clear what the expectations are. And I don't know if they do or don't. But if I'm a recruit from Florida or California and I'm coming to play in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm expecting one thing, and I get here and all of a sudden it's something completely different. Oh my God, that transfer portal is starting to look really good, really quick. Now, not for me. I had hell the first couple of years and I wasn't going nowhere. But I'm just saying other individuals might look at it that way. It's a potential possibility. Have very clear defined expectations and roles. And last but certainly not least, everybody is different. Understanding that everybody is different. I have 6 kids, ladies and gentlemen. I understand as much as anybody how different each and every kid is. My twins couldn't be any more. They're the 2 most different kids I have. We have Desiree, who will wear, tutus and ballerina dresses and Let It Go, that Frozen movie. And then Dakota will come in rocking the backwards baseball hat with a Redskins jersey or a Nebraska jersey, and she got her hockey stick in her hand. I understand people are different. You got to understand and recognize people are motivated differently, just like people learn differently. Some people are visual learners. Some people, they got to go out and do it. I was always more of a doer than I was a visual learner. Okay, but at the end of the day, no matter how somebody's motivated, and no matter how you are as a coach, okay, and once you set those clearly defined expectations, be who you are, set the expectations, and understand that everybody's motivated differently. And once you've kind of learned that, whether you've ripped into them like a monkey on a cupcake, or whether you've done whatever, as you're walking off the field, they need to know at the end of the day that you got love for them, that you got their back, that you are a family, that you are there for them, okay? And I want to leave you with a tweet from former Husker linebacker Mo Berry. He sent it out this morning, and here's what it says, and I quote, "My man Luke Gifford, 4 different head coaches, 4 different defensive coordinators, 4 different position coaches, switched position 3 times, didn't start until the latter part of his career. He didn't transfer. Now he's in the league with a degree. Young players, college ball isn't easy. It isn't fair, just like life. Don't quit, earn it all." Until next time, Husker Nations, go Big Red, and always remember, throw the bones. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.